Hey guys, welcome to the Double Take podcast. This is our first podcast ever. I'm Riley,
I'm Haley.
and this episode is going to be about why we're friends again.
Again?
Because y'all are probably really confused if you knew us in high school and middle school.
It's one heck of a story, if I had to
It
say.
is one heck of a story, and we're very thankful that God brought our lives back together. So yeah, let's get into it.
Okay.
So we dated the same guy. And
But before all this,
yes.
we became best friends in 6th grade. It was my first year at our middle school that we went to. And I had no friends. I had moved from so many different schools, and so it was just kind of like a thing where I knew nobody was going to talk to me. But then Riley was in my math class, and I don't know why we hit it
off.
for real. And we were best friends and
Inseparable.
Literally.
We're gonna insert pictures. You still have those pictures of us.
Yes.
We would go to this creek in my neighborhood where people would spray paint. It wasn't even like a creek. It was a lake, but not.
Like a dam type
Almost,
situation.
yeah.
I don't even know.
And
there was graffiti everywhere.
There was, and we would take pictures and set the phone up. We'll insert some. But yeah.
And then, our downfall.
We had a downfall.
Riley trusted me with a very big secret, and I was way too immature to keep it, and I let it out, and it broke our trust, and it broke our friendship. We have talked about it since then,
and we're good now.
Yes.
We were in 6th grade, so what I trusted her with was a big thing that
definitely someone who's way more mature than a 6th grader.
And someone in 6th grade would not be able to comprehend something like that. So I have no hate towards her. If someone had told me something like that in 6th grade, I don't know if I would have understood the depth of it. So
yeah, and we've laughed, we've cried about it. It's all good.
So
now we will get into we dated the same man.
Yes, we did. What do we want to name him? So we were trying to figure out before. We decided on maybe Chopped, Fruity Pebbles.
I think Fruity Pebbles is the best.
We're gonna call him Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
So I'll get into how I met him.
Okay, yeah. You go first.
I met him. I think it was my junior year of high school. On Snapchat, and he had a very low Snap score. So if you know anything about that, which ladies watching, I'm sure you do, someone has a low Snap score and they're literally a goddess. You're okay, well, this is a fake account. So I assumed that. I thought he was beautiful at the time. Things have obviously changed. I mean, I think your personality goes a lot to the kind of person that you
and
are.
Your appearance and just everything about you.
Yeah, you can be hot and then your personality can be downright awful, and that makes you so unattractive as a person. So when I was talking to him, I was not sure if he was real or not, and he had been asking me to hang out, and we wanted to meet up. And so I invited him to my parents' house where I was living at the time, because I was not about to go hang out with this man in public that I didn't know, who could be posing as a 50-year-old man who lives in his basement.
Wouldn't put it past him, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, literally. And so there's so many creeps out there like that. So I invited him over to my house. He met my whole family, and we had dinner with my family. Went off really well. We hit it off. I was like, oh my gosh, this is my first boyfriend. I had boyfriends in middle school and boyfriends throughout high school, but I felt like this was the legit one. Okay, this.
I feel like we have the same exact story.
We literally do. Oh wait, you have to tell him about how he played. But anyways, so hit it off well. We started dating. He went to a different school than I did, and we dated for about a year. I had heard from many people that he was cheating on me, talking to other girls, but I was kind of delusional, and I honestly didn't care. I had no self-respect, so I was like, yeah, whatever. And I wanted to use him for school dances, because if you know, as a girl in high school, it's hard to find a date, and I was not one of those girls that men at my school were like, oh yes, let me ask her.
It's okay. I did not have a date my junior year or senior year. Well, I did junior year for prom, and that was it.
Right. Well, I just didn't want to be left out, so I was like, okay, he's perfect. I'll just use him for school dances. So I did, and there was our senior prom. He went with me to that, and then I went with him to his, and they were all going to the lake afterwards. Well, my parents were super strict because I had stuff that happened to me as a kid, and they didn't want me being around people they didn't know, stuff like that. And usually when people go to the lake, and you're in high school, you're doing stuff you probably shouldn't be doing, and all of the
Parents are very questionable about that kind of stuff.
right. Well, and like all the parents that he was going with, like they were providing stuff for the minors, and I told my parents because I'm honest, and I had gotten in trouble many times in high school, and I realized that being honest was just better than lying.
Yeah.
So they basically told me I couldn't go, and it was supposed to be couples going, and Fruity Pebbles decided to not inform me that they were going to be hanging out with other people there. I assumed it was just going to be all the couples that we went to the dance with, and he was going to be by
Which you would
himself.
assume would be fine because it's just couples.
Right. Well, anyways, he started sending me pictures of him with other random women in bathing suits. So like not even hiding what he was doing. And I was with my one of my other best friends at the time, and she was like, "This is so like just not okay, Riley. This is disrespectful to you." So I ended up breaking up with him, and that's that story. And yeah, so I'll give my perspective, and then you give your perspective, because I hadn't talked to Haley since like 6th grade, and her and I were enemies. Like
yeah,
I tried to make
we
her
had
life a
one.
living hell.
Okay, we had one sleep. We had one sleepover. I think it was sophomore year because we were friends with the same friend group.
Oh my gosh, I forgot
But
about
we
that.
slept in separate rooms, and like I
That
don't
was
think we
at
talked to each other. Like
that was at my neighbor's house, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
I forgot about that.
But we literally had the same exact friend group, but we're avoiding each other at all costs. It was like honestly hilarious.
Right. Well, I like hated her truly. I'm so sorry. Like, actually, I had everything out for her. Like,
Well, then there was like crazy rumors, so I was like, low key, this girl crazy.
I am low key a little crazy.
Okay, so my story. So I started going to a community college that's near us. And I like went in with the mindset I'm not talking to anybody. Like I'm just gonna get through this and I'm not gonna talk to anybody. It was like the second week of school, and I saw this guy, and I was like, wait, he's looking kind of cute. And I'm not the type of person to go up to somebody. If you like me, you're gonna come up to me. Especially since I'm the female. I don't chase.
Period.
Just choked on my own spit. Um, anyways, so I just mind my own business and just like walk to class, like okay. And then I get this like weird feeling that like somebody's like staring at me because I can sense that like so well. That's always been a thing that I've had. And I kind of like really use my peripheral vision. And he is on the opposite side of the road and like comes walking over to behind me. And then like as we were walking in the doors, he's just like, "What's your name?" And then we just had like a conversation like, "Oh, like where'd you go to high school?" and like blah blah blah. Like I don't know. He was like trying to relate off what I said. "Oh, do you know the baseball players?" Anyways, do I know the baseball players in my own school?
No, you don't. You're a nobody.
Okay, anyway. Clearly he doesn't know me.
She don't know no one. Right. Like, why would you not know the baseball players? Hello.
Anyways, go to class, mind my business. I was actually trying to find him on Instagram. I found him on Snapchat, but his Snapchat was like so sketch. It like looked like it hadn't been used, and I was just like,
what I said earlier.
I was like, so maybe I shouldn't add a Snapchat. So then I went and followed him on Instagram. And for some reason, he looked very familiar after I clicked on I saw his Instagram profile picture because his account was private. And, anyways, he accepted it. I didn't even look into his Instagram page, and that was like the first time I've never done that. But I didn't. Anyways, the next day we go on a coffee date, and he is asking me about life. Obviously, if you go on a date with somebody, you want to know everything about them before you even show like you're interested, like for real. And he is telling me all about this ex-girlfriend that is just so awful that cheated on him.
Hey
and
guys.
that
I didn't cheat, by the way.
that makes
Fruity
music
Pebbles.
about him, and like is trying
The
to
songs aren't about you. Some of them are.
And he was like saying that like she was like trying to get back with him, and like I just don't even know where that conversation went. I was left a little uncomfortable or whatever. And then he asked to hang out on Sunday to go to church together. I say yes because I'm just like, you know what? I'm just trying to figure this man out. So I was like, okay, this is fine. Um,
This part kills me, y'all. This gives me life.
so, anyways, he comes picks me up to go to church. He has my favorite candy in the passenger seat,
Which happens to be my favorite candy too. Peach rings.
Oh,
Sour Patch peach rings.
okay. Nothing new for him, I guess. Uh, anyways, we go to church. It's good. Actually, ironically, the girl at the front door of the church was like, "Y'all look so good together." And I was like, okay, like maybe this is gonna go good. Like
Maybe this is a sign.
I know, like I had high hopes, and then like we're in church, and he's like praying over me, like he's like praying for me, and like all of this, and I was like, wow, this man is like magical. Like he's like
He's
the guy.
heaven sent.
Like yeah, no, like I'm sure you thought the same thing. Like I just
I thought
thought
the
like
same thing.
I just thought like he was like so amazing, and like I was like, how did I like even manage to get this in like this generation? I was like, who sent you to me?
Right.
um anyways, um so we go to the Vulcan, which is a very popular spot for y'all as well, wasn't it?
It is, yes.
And we're just there. I don't even know what for real happened. I just know it was hot as hell, and his air conditioning did not work in his car, and
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna strangle myself. Like literally, I was ready to hop out of the car. Because I am not the one to be hot.
Once I start to get high, I get angry.
Yeah, I know. Like I just get mad. Like I just can't. And I was wearing a velvet top, so it like was holding in the heat. Like I was just not messing with it. I was just not messing with it. We go to his house. Oh wait, that's not even it. We go eat lunch with his parents before we go there, and it goes good. And then when we get back in the car on the way to Vulcan, he tells me, "My dad said, like, you've got to be the one."
Get out.
I just met you and your dad. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay.
Loki's making fast moves.
Like I thought he was gonna propose to me the next day. Anyways, we go to his house and change because we were planning on like walking his dog or going on a walk or something. I don't even know. Boy had me doing like every single activity in one day. I need my sleep. I need the rest. I need a break. I can't just go and go and go. Even though I kind of do that, but like with somebody I don't even for real know, like if it was with Riley, oh yeah, sign me up. But like I just met you. I do not want to spend my whole day with you. But that did happen. My mom calls me and tells me that we're painting the house, and she was like, "Oh, do y'all want to come over?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" Gets me out of this awkward situation. So he comes over, and we're painting my house. We did have to stop at Lowe's to get paintbrushes, but we are full on painting my house. Um and then the suggestion of going to dinner comes up, and it's like, oh, okay, good. Like he'll get to like talk with my parents like for real instead of just having tiny conversations painting the walls. And so we went to dinner. That goes good. He's like low-key PDA in front of my parents, and I'm like,
Oh, I hate when men do that. Like,
I was
do
like,
not.
oh my god, please stop.
Don't
Like you're
do that.
sitting right beside my dad. Like please, like please stop. Like no. Anyways, and like we're playing like iMessage games, and it was like weird. Like I was low key like weirded out. I asked to go to the bathroom at one point because I was like, stop. Anyways, here is where it gets interesting. We come back to my house, and I change because I'm in like nicer clothes, and I change into something warm because the movie theaters are cold. So I put on some leggings and I think a sweatshirt. Oh no, his sweatshirt he brought from his house.
Yum.
It was like a green one. Does that ring bell? It was like this color, maybe. Maybe it was blue. I can't even remember. I don't even care.
I'm thinking. Honestly, I wore so many of his sweatshirts, and
Yeah.
I kept one of them, and then I donated it.
So we're driving to the movies, whatever. We're just having like personal conversation. I mean, I think it's just like normal. Like if you're like getting to know somebody and like interested in talking to them, like just kind of get a feel of like how they are personally.
So weird, because him and I went to the movies 24/7. And I'm not even going to tell you or get into details of what we would do, but like that was a spot for us.
Um, so we get to the movie theater and we're early. And this ex girlfriend keeps getting brought up. And I'm like, who is this ex-girlfriend?
Not gonna lie, I wouldn't be able to move on either.
And not if I was dating a diva like you, but anyways, we're sitting in the parking lot, and after he told me that, I was like, no way, that was my best friend in 6th grade. Like, excuse me, what? And then continues to tell me she writes songs about him. And then plays her damn song, and I'm like trying to change the topic over, and it's just still just playing, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
I love a proud listener. Like, I'm glad he supports me. Still follows me on social media, by the way.
Sitting there
and has a new girlfriend. Follows both of us.
Both of us.
Sorry, girl. You might want to move on from him. He's a lost cause.
You know what? I gave her screenshot proof and everything, and she's
another state of delusion.
Also, she was my friend.
Whoa,
there seems to be a repeating pattern here, so stay away from him, ladies.
What a man.
So anyways, gets him to go watch, and we go watch Twister, and
why do I feel like I was supposed to see that with him? Like, straight up. I'm not even kidding.
Y'all probably were after we get later. I want to say
I literally played the trailer.
It was probably later
on YouTube.
It was probably later in the story,
so
where that comes in. So everything's going great. It's like fine. Like, he walks me to class all the time. Like, a little PDA here and there, like in public, which I don't mind at school, because I mean, he was a pretty nice looking dude.
Boy.
Yeah, like
not a man.
And so I was like, okay, yeah, like, that's my man. Like, don't mess with me. And then I don't even know how this conversation, like, I don't know. Something about, like, we broke up, and, like, I mean, honestly, I was devastated, because I mean, I literally thought that God sent this man to me. Maybe that did not come from God. That did not come from God. I can tell you that right now.
That was the devil. Wait, what's that song I just sang? That don't know, man, that's the devil.
Anyways, so, and it's like our breakup, and then there was like a time where we go and talk, and I was like, this man never asked me to be his girlfriend, but we're like literally like in the car, and we're talking, and I told him, he was like, I'm sorry, like, I know I want to be with you, just like, I don't even know, like, he was like, I'm sorry I had to do that. And then I was like, I looked at him, and I was like, but we weren't even like for real dating, right? And then he like was like, look at me. And then I like turned, and then I didn't want to make eye contact, but he made me make eye contact, and he like held my face there and was like, we were.
And now he says that they weren't ever.
Because he cheated.
Cheater.
Anyways,
once a cheat, always a cheat.
After that, we're like still like talking, like keeping it going, but it's just like no label. I mean, there wasn't really a label before, but like kinda, like, met my whole family, like met his like
you
mom,
don't just
uncle,
do that with someone you're
aunt,
hooking up with or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't
like
be doing that. At least I don't.
Like, would come over to my house every single Thursday. Thursdays are my night to cook at my house. Well, not anymore. I'm changing that. No. And we would cook dinner together, and he would be over every Thursday, and for sure every Thursday, and we would cook together, and then he would just like come over like all the time. Like, you're lying to yourself. Anyways, so I then start having these weird ass dreams, and it would be like Fruity Pebble and Riley, and it's like we would all like, there was the first one was we were at my house for some reason, and like there was like a little fire going on at the end of my driveway, and for some reason Fruity Pebble like disappears, and then it's just like me and Riley talking, and like we just kept talking, and like I don't recall the conversation, but like it was like we would be so mind blown, and like it brought our friendship back together, and then my dream would end, and like this was like a repeating thing. It was just in different sceneries. Like, I don't even know, I truly do think that God like shows me things in my dreams.
So God, yeah.
Because I mean, this is not the first time I've had like a dream like that at all, but anyways, that's besides the point. But like, I just kept having these dreams. I think I had like 3 of them. And then I noticed the Instagram activity had been very weird. I kept seeing their 2 profiles like together, and they get off at the same time. Which, granted, I could tell you like almost every single person on your Instagram could do that, but like,
Right.
something wasn't sitting right with me, especially after having that dream. And I had asked him about it, and he was just like, "No, she has a boyfriend. I would never go back to that. She did
Lies.
me so dirty."
It was the other way around.
Also, I mean, if I can pull up receipts if y'all want,
Yeah,
but
me too. Fruity Pebbles. I
um
can pull up the girls from
I
your
know,
school
like
DMing me.
I
Like,
think that like I don't know, his current girlfriend probably thinks we're lying because he probably deleted like all the text and like
probably,
thinks
but
that we
like,
like edited it or
why
something.
would we lie about this?
I
I
have
dated the man for a
I
year.
will literally swear on
I
the
would still
Bible.
be with him, girl. I would.
Right. Okay. Anyways, so would I. So would I.
You think I wanted to be single?
Um.
No.
So, anyways, where was I? Oh, the Instagram thing. And so text him about it, and it's just like straight no. Well, my parents go on a cruise. And I'm like, okay, so this is the way I'm not gonna kind of look crazy. I was like, let me just like do a little stalking as one does. Um, I drove by Riley's house. Unfortunately, I still did know your address, even though I never drove there. Like, I just knew how to get to your house.
Period. That's
Her
how close we were.
her her car was there, but when I drove past Fruity Pebbles' house before, because he lives in my neighborhood.
She just had a feeling like he was doing something.
Yes, and so I went by his house too, and his car was not there. So, and then like I kept going back and forth between both houses. I don't know how many times I did that. But I did. And then eventually, um, I saw he was active on Instagram again. I was like, okay, so he must be home. Drove past his house, and he was home. So I called him. I was like, hey, can you help me with my school stuff? He was like, yeah, I just got home. And I was like, oh, what were you doing? He's like, oh, I just left the gym. No, you didn't, because the gym is like right by your neighborhood, and I drove past that gym too. And I was like, man, I knew something was up. And I kept getting this feeling that I needed to text her. Then I was like, nah, this bitch is gonna think I'm crazy. She's gonna think I'm crazy. She's gonna think I'm crazy.
I probably would have at the point.
Oh yeah. And so, anyways, later, come to find out, they were on a date.
Yeah, so let me share that side. So I had heard that they were talking from a friend that was at the same college as them. And one of my friends had texted me and told me, and I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, of course. I was like, she just hates me. Like, she wants me to make her, like, she
Mind
wants
you,
me to
this
hate her
this
even
was
more.
literally not even on purpose. And like when he first told me
She
that
had
it
no
was
clue.
like it was her, I was like, oh my gosh, she's like gonna think that I am like doing this like out of spite. I was like,
And I did. I truly did. Like, I remember I talked to my mom, and I was like, gosh, like, I just cannot get away from her. Like, of course she's dating my ex. And I was like, and he knows who she is. I remember telling him. And he says that he had no clue. I remember telling him how much I hated you. I remember showing him pictures of you and being like, I hate this girl. I don't hate you
he
now. I love
literally
you.
he literally just goes after friends. Like I think he's just like so in love with the drama or
It's so
something.
weird. But yeah, so I basically texted him when I found out, because I was like, I hate him for what he did to me, but I was in my era. I'm trying to work on myself, trying to be a better person. So I'm just gonna warn him. So that's what I did. And this was like at the beginning of y'all talking. I think, like second month maybe or something
Yeah.
like that. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, I had no clue that's who that was. Like, I will not talk to her anymore. Like, out of respect for you." Well, anyways, comes down to like a couple months later. It's like November. He's been trying to hang out with me a couple times, and honestly, scared of this man because he put me through a lot of trauma. He was my first boyfriend, and he tells me he's a changed man of God. He wants to take me out to my favorite restaurant.
Oh,
And he wants to just like end on good terms because we ended on horrible terms and we still have. We're
oh, he
never
told
gonna
me
be on good
y'all ended
terms.
on good terms.
No, no, we ended on horrible
He said,
terms.
yeah, I literally have text proof of him saying that we ended up on good terms, like we're friends.
No. Well, when he took me out, I was trying to be on good terms. It's like, you know what? I'll give him a second chance, like to be a better
Well,
person. Like
fair,
I
fair.
wasn't interested in being with him, but I was giving him the chance to prove to me that like he was
Like
actually
it's okay to be
sorry.
like cordial, like like
Right.
mutual,
And
like
so it's like, okay, we can like be good, and there's nothing wrong with a free dinner. hello, what? At my favorite
Never nothing
restaurant.
wrong with that.
Yeah. So I took him up on that offer. And he ended up wanting to run errands with me, and it almost felt like he was trying to be seen in public with me. And it was around the area that's like close to my house where I like grew up. So like I would see people I knew out. And I did. I did. I saw a girl and her boyfriend in the grade above me, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, hi Riley." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, great." So anyways, then he took me to dinner, and he was kind of being really flirty. Like I was wearing baggy jeans and I kept talking about how they were falling down, and he grabbed the back of my pants and was like holding them up for me.
This is like sickening because are you done with your side?
No, no,
Oh,
hold on. I'm
okay, keep
almost done.
going.
So, anyways, we have dinner and then we get back in the car and it's also raining, so he's like trying to like get me like away from the rainwater, like I'm gonna melt or something. I don't know. And we get back in the car and he's like, "So what do you want to do?"
Bro, he was probably trying to rush in the car because his concealer is gonna wipe off.
Bro, for real. Okay, fruity pebbles. But anyways, he's like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Honestly, I want to go home."
So
I
valid.
wanted to go
That's
home.
how I felt when we went on our first
I
date.
was like, "Honestly, I want to go home." And he was like, "Oh." And then he was like, "Let me show you the skate park where I've been skating at," because now he skates, which was my thing when we were dating. So it's just a little weird. So he showed me the skate park. Then he took me home. We're at the front driveway in front of my house, and I like go to get out of the car, and he's like, "Wait," and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Would you be mad if I asked you to kiss me right now?" And at that time,
Oh, mind you, pause right there. I forgot to mention when he dropped me off at my house after leaving the movies, he was like, "So can I get a kiss?"
this man just loves to
Bro, I just want to
kiss.
get inside my house. Like, okay, anyway.
But he goes, "Would you be mad if I like tried to kiss you or like asked you to kiss me right now?" And I was like I don't really know how to respond to that. And like I'm not talking to anyone at this point in time. And I like was kind of like being like no, but then he like kept asking and I was like, "You know what? We're not dating. We're not anything. A kiss isn't going to hurt." And I hadn't kissed someone in a while. And to be fair, this was probably an awful choice. And my mother told me that, but I tend to make awful choices. So I said yes, and we started kissing, and then the kissing turned into making out, and then he tried to unbutton my pants, and I was like, "Oh heck no, this is going south real fast." And I told him I
Mind you,
was,
this is a changed man of God.
yeah, right, that adds up. Well, anyways, he starts unbuttoning my pants, and I looked at him and I go, "I'm on my period." I wasn't. That was a straight lie, by the way. And he goes, "Oh," and I'm like, "Okay." So I like button my, and I'm in front of my house still, by the way, in front of my house. And I zip my pants back up and I'm like, okay, well, like I'm gonna go inside. And he's like, "Would you ever be interested in being friends with benefits?" And I was like, "I'll get back to you on that one." um,
Man of God.
I can't be doing all that.
Man of God. Um, anyways, so I'm trying to think where I left off. Oh, this handy ceiling fan up here that he couldn't even install. Um, so anyways, long story short. So
They're throwing me off because they're outside.
I know, sorry. My mom is outside my door. Um no, I just think this part is just so funny. I'm just sitting there. It's hot in my room. Like my ceiling fan's broken. Like it's just not working. And he's trying to install it. And so, like, I'm kind of like questioning him. I was like, what'd you do yesterday? Like, I'm still like asking him about it because like I just knew. I just freaking knew. Um, I kept asking him about it and like just everything. This is the next day. Next day.
Mind you, I had no clue they were together. Like when I texted him, he told me he was not going to talk to her at all, and they were together for like many months.
Exactly. And I mean, I like anyway. He makes me. I literally makes my blood boil. Um. Anyways, he gets done and he wants to stay over at my house for longer, and I'm just like, okay, like that's fine, duh. And then all of a sudden, he had to move his car because my brother needed to pull in the driveway, and then all of a sudden he changes his mind and is like, actually, my mom needs me to install these lights. Well, I drove past his house earlier. That night, ain't no lights were ever installed. His car wasn't even there. Um, you're not a great liar, honey.
He was
You
never a
gotta
good
cut it out. I
liar.
mean, the Bible tells you not to.
Right.
Man of God. Um, anyways, And he gets out of his car to tell me bye, and he kisses me bye. I kissed your lips.
How does that feel?
You know, I'm not even mad about it.
Get out! Now we're real best friends.
Right. So, fast forward, not even, this is like the end. This is like the end. This is like a Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday. Maybe it's the next day. Who even knows? We go to school. And I'm just like texting him. I'm just like, hey, like, you want to come over later? Like, you know, like, whatever. Since he couldn't come over or stay yesterday. And he was like, yeah, like, let me see. And I'm like, okay, perfect. Um, and we get out of our cars and, like, we always walk inside together. So, you know, I'm walking inside with them. And it's almost time for class. And so he needs to go to the computer lab that day. I normally went with him. And you know, that day I was just like, and mind you, had been praying to God. I was like, please show me if this is like what I'm supposed to be doing. This is like putting me through so much stress. Like, is this like right? Is this wrong? Like, if this is not right, please remove it.
I think we've all prayed that prayer.
Yes.
Truly.
I was like, please,
I know I have.
I was like, please make this like disappear. Show me in like whatever way that you can. Like, I just need to step away. I decided I was not gonna go into the computer lab with him. I went to class. And I'm sitting in class with another friend who actually went to our high school, and I'm just talking to her, and we're like both like, "Oh, where's so and so, our friend?" And we were like, "I don't know." And then I remember, I'm gonna call her Turtle. Turtle was like, I saw her out in the parking lot, and I was like, "Yeah, I saw her car too." And you know, something just like wasn't adding up or whatever, and I was like, I remember watching your live and you saying that you were going to go to the school next semester. I was like, oh nah. Is he helping her with that? I was about to crash.
He was supposed to.
I was literally crashing out. And he never his class, he didn't even have class that day. Sometimes his teacher would cancel class and like he wouldn't even know until he like went up to class. And so it was just one of those days, I guess. And I saw that his car was still out in the parking lot, and I was like, weird. I was like, and then I texted him, no response, nothing. And then he's still texting back and forth, obviously tells me he can't come over anymore. And the next day I go to my dentist appointment and I get a text. Oh, by the way, I told you I'd tell you if I started talking to somebody else. I found someone and I really think it's the one. Bro, weren't you just talking to me yesterday?
And he sent me a similar paragraph around that time telling me that he met his wife.
He told you like the day after y'all went on a date.
Yeah, like he told me he met his wife and that she was the one, and I was like,
weren't you just trying to get my pants last night?
You literally just asked me to be friends with benefits, and now you've met your wife. What? The switch up is crazy.
Right.
Also, y'all, I promise I'm not just staring at a wall. There's a mirror, and unfortunately, my ADHD cannot not stare at myself now in the mirror.
I've looked everywhere.
So,
my cat is literally right here.
You can't see yourself. You're lucky. I can't stop staring at myself. I'm like, oh, my posture, girl, get it together.
So, anyways, I like flipped. I flipped.
Valid.
That night I actually had to go pet sit with my mom.
This part is good, y'all.
And I saw a car that is so recognizable. So recognizable. Like, there's a lot of red, blacks, and gray cars in our area. This one's bright ass red. Bright ass red. Bright red. And I was like, I know exactly whose car that is.
And where was this car?
In front of his house.
Oh, plot twist. His new wife.
I know exactly why so and so was not in class, and me and Turtle were questioning about. She was with my man in the computer lab.
Yup.
Anyways,
I sound like a man.
Not my man. Not my man. Not my man. Never was my man. Clearly,
God was saving you.
Right, and had been talking to her the whole time. So when I found that out that night,
on FaceTime
it was the night.
Too,
It was the night before Thanksgiving. I texted Riley. I was like, hey.
And mind you, she did not text me at a normal time.
It was like 12 o'clock. It was like
in the morning.
We were on the phone till like 4 a.m.
Yeah, when I saw her text, because y'all, I haven't talked to her since 6th grade. When I saw her text, I was on FaceTime with one of my friends named Bobby.
Okay, I procrastinated sending that text for a second. I like typed it out and I was like, oh my god, like she's not gonna answer me, and I'm just like gonna full on panic, like I'm gonna crash out if she does not respond. And then I finally sent it, and like my blood was shot, like I was like
well, my jaw dropped, and I was on FaceTime with Bobby, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're not gonna believe it." And he was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, I have to go right now." And he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I was so confused when I saw your name. Like, I also didn't even know I still had your contact in my phone.
I didn't either. I was like, oh my god.
So like,
I thought you might have gotten a different number, and I was like, please go through, please go
I had
through.
gotten new phones, but I didn't even know your contact was still.
Yeah, no, and it said delivered, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope this is like not like a given phone number to her sister or something. Like, I hope it's your phone number. I was like freaking out. And so I call her. Because she tells me, yeah.
Crying in her closet.
And she was like, is everything okay? I was crying in my closet because, like, I did not want people in my house to hear me. I was like, there's no way this is real. I was like, so had you and Free, like, it was basically, like, recapping everything that had happened. Her story and my story. Sorry, I accidentally touched your mic.
Yeah,
Sorry.
hopefully that wasn't
Sorry,
loud.
guys.
Sorry, guys.
Like, we were going back and forth between her story and my story and everything, and we were just, like, connecting the dots. Like, he had been talking to her while he was talking to me, and, like, while we were dating, and just this whole insane thing. And I was just telling her how, like, I didn't even know, like, I had even contemplating even continuing talking to him because
and mind you, Haley's like sobbing, like gasping for air, and like I haven't talked to her in so long, and as much as I hated her for everything that happened,
yeah,
I couldn't help but like we've all had that one man that like we thought we were gonna be with and we thought was our person, and then it goes wrong and you feel like your life
your like whole world crashes down,
crumbling to pieces. Like you feel like you've lost your self like identity, like you don't even know who
I
you
honestly
are anymore.
feel like a breakup is so similar to a death, but other than the person is not forever gone, they're just gone.
It's just almost like makes like when I get in breakups, like I feel like a part of me dies.
Yeah,
like
you
a
just
part
feel
of
like
me
empty.
that like longs for love. It's like, oh, like another soul crush.
And then like you just sit there and watch them live their life, and they're like just like all happy, and it's just like, damn.
And that was the moment that like I truly did forgive her because I know what it feels like.
And then like I think that night that's the other stuff got brought up, and like we were talking about it, and like I don't even know, it was just like a crying fest, and she was like just telling me like all of what had been going on. Bad. And I told her like it's fine, like she didn't know he was playing the game, he was playing both of us, like he was just playing the game, he was bouncing us around like a damn basketball.
He was
like
he was
so
that was the night we became friends again.
Yes. And then our first hangout, we
got tattoos.
We got tattoos together.
Matching
and
ones.
So now we are best friends. And honestly, this whole story, I am so thankful it happened because one, I'd be damned if another man cheats on me.
Oh yeah, same. Actually, that just happened to me, so I'm not.
Okay, but he was giving so Fruity Pebble. You were ignoring all the signs.
He also had concealer in his bathroom.
Yeah. Oh, Fruity Pebble.
And I found tampons in his apartment.
If y'all didn't understand my line of his concealer was going to fall off, man quite literally one day got in my car and had concealer over his pimple.
And
that
you know,
he
no hate to the men who wear the makeup.
No, like I can understand that, but like he was so conceited. Like I like hate to call people conceited. He is literally so conceited.
One of those men that you see, like they see a mirror, like almost like I am. I'm not admiring myself. I'm actually making fun of myself.
Oh yeah, no, he would like this.
He would be like
this mirror right here. He would just be checking himself
and you're
out.
Like,
he would just literally be checking himself out from like every angle, like not even flexing his muscles, like acting like he was gonna be in an edit or something. Right. Like he was like literally mogging my mirror.
Edit of me.
Like, like. Anyways, that icked me out most of the time. Anyways, but yeah, I'm thankful for this experience because I honestly think this might have been God's way of bringing us back together. Since
1000%.
Like since we were literally best friends, we were inseparable. We were literally, and we're like that now. So it's just like,
dated guys in middle school that were best friends.
Like we were it.
We were
like they were literally so inseparable and like literally the best of friends. And I just think this was God's way of bringing us back. Because I mean, I think there was one time like the whole friend group thing, and then there was like another time for some reason like we were awkwardly like talking. I think there was one morning in school you came and sat in my car. Do you remember that? I just now remembered that.
I do.
Yeah.
What do we even? Why?
I think we were in the same chemistry class. And
Were we really?
I don't know. Maybe you were ranting to me about Fruity Pebble. I can't even remember. It was junior year. It was junior year.
I don't really remember
know.
high school.
But there was one time she did come sit in my car. And
I do remember that though.
I don't.
I remember once I talked to you and I'm not gonna say her name, but like we were both friends with her. I had to fall out with her.
Oh yeah.
I remember I talked to y'all at like the front office once.
Yeah. I don't remember that.
Really, I don't know why.
It was probably in the counselors.
Probably.
But yeah, that is our story, and that's how we're friends.
Yeah.
We got some more crazy stories for y'all.
If
y'all think that's crazy,
so
that's
stay
why
around.
we're friends. We both dated the same guy that cheated on both of us.
Not even a guy. Honestly, he's a boy.
Yeah.
Just a boy.
Hey, at least I didn't call him a man.
That would never.
A man for him will never come out of my mouth.
Oh yeah.
Never.
Well, I hope y'all like this, and we have like so many more episodes that we're gonna be creating and giving to y'all. So please subscribe,
stay tuned,
follow us. Stay tuned. Yeah, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Not even the beginning.
This is just how we became friends. This ain't even the whole story, bro. Like,
and that's why it's called double take. Because when you see us, what do, Haley?
Everybody takes a double take at us.
Yeah,
we've had so many people from our school, like my for real ex-boyfriend who actually claims me. Joined my live, and I just know he was so confused. Like, and so many people have.
I've had people like see pictures of us and be like, "Ooh, so y'all are friends again?"
Did I miss the chapter?
And we're like, "Yeah, we'll explain."
Yeah,
we dated the same guy.
Anyways, that is the story.
Yeah, we love y'all. Bye.